and on behalf of Centre Santé, I want to welcome you to this week's session of Fun Fit from Home. Today we're going to do a balance and strength workout using a mini fit ball. So if you don't have a mini fit ball, any type of plastic ball that is light, that is sturdy and a little bit flexible will work. So you can use a sturdy beach ball or one of those plastic balls that you can find in the summertime at the dollar store or Walmart. Those will all work fine. You want to choose a ball that is between 4 and 8 inches in diameter. So we are going to get started as usual with our warm-up. So we want to make sure that we have a nice sturdy shoe with a flat sole, some space to move around in, and a bottle of water in case we get thirsty. So for our warm-up, we don't need our ball, so you can put it off to the side, and also we will need a chair for our strengthening and balance component of the class, so have one nearby. So let's get started with our warm-up. So we're going to bring our feet just about shoulder distance apart, and let's just roll the shoulders back. So as you stand here, you want to reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, and your chin should be pointing down towards the floor. Chest is lifted. Just a few more. Good. Shoulders down. Now we're going to take a deep breath in, reach the arms up, and breathe out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up. And exhale down. Last time. Here we go. Deep breath in. And arms down. We're going to tap one foot. So this is a great warm-up to warm up the ankle here. So just tapping the toes up and down. And we're going to add some arm motions to this. So add a little bicep curl. So we're warming up our body, getting it ready for exercise. Getting our heart rates up. And let's go side to side with that foot. So ideally you'd want to do these workouts on a floor, but if you're like me and you've got a big rug here that you can't move, just make sure that you lift your feet as you move. All right, other foot, you're going to tap the toe up and down, keeping the heel on the floor, and try to lift those toes as much as you can, adding the bicep curl now. And taking that toe side to side. So your heel's very lightly on the floor here. You've got a little bit of rotation happening at the hip here. And feet together, we're going to march it out. So pumping those arms. Good. Now we're going to take this march a little bit wider. So you're going to feel this a little bit more in your hips, warming up those hips. And back together. Good. Now we're going to take this side to side and do a little easy step touch here. Side to side. And hamstring curl. So you're kicking your heel towards your glute. One leg at a time, of course. So this is working the back of your leg, your hamstring muscle, and you'll feel a little bit of a tiny stretch here in the quadricep. Good, we're going to tap the toe now. As you tap your toe, bring your leg back a little bit and squeeze your glute. Good, heel dig to the front. So we're going to do a little heel to the front, lift the toes up so you feel a tiny bit of a stretch in the calf as you bring your heel to the front. Toe tap to the side. All right, now toe tap to the front. Now really point your toes down, and you're going to feel this time a little bit of a stretch in your shin and the top of the foot. And march it out. Good, so we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to add some arm motions to make the movements bigger to get our heart rates up a little bit more. So here we go, side to side, arm circle this time. Now you can do a small arm circle or a big arm circle, it's up to you, or you can also stick with just your legs. Make sure you keep breathing. And hamstring curls, you're gonna pull it with your arms. Keep your chest lifted. So remember, as we go on with our workout, you can always modify things as you need to. Feel free to pause the video if you need a little bit of a break between the exercises. All right, heel digs to the front, you're gonna reach your arm forward. So pushing. And toe tap to the side, you're gonna extend your arm out to the side one at a time. Toe tap to the front, bicep curl. All right, last move in our warm up here. We're gonna lift the knee up and we're gonna climb the ladder with the arm. So a little bit of a bigger motion here. So this is gonna bring our warm up to an end, and we're gonna do balance with the ball next. All right, awesome, let's march it out. And slowly bring our feet to a stop. All right, so for our balance, we're gonna need our chair, and we're also gonna need our ball. So you can go ahead and grab those. So whatever chair you're using, you wanna make sure that it's nice and sturdy. So you don't want something like a computer chair that's on wheels that can roll around. So really something that isn't gonna move and that you can use just in case you lose your balance. So we're gonna stand right next to our chair. And for the first exercise, we've got our ball here. We're gonna hold it with the arms extended right at the bottom, and your feet are gonna be as close together as possible. And we're just gonna draw a big circle with that ball. And as we draw that circle, we wanna try to keep our body as stable as possible. So we're gonna bring our arms to the sides, then up overhead, and then down to the other side, and again. Good, big circle. Now let's go in the opposite direction for 2. And one more. And good. Okay, so we're gonna add a progression to this. So this time we're gonna do the same exercise, but we're gonna lift onto the big toe of one foot. If you prefer, you can repeat the exercise with both feet flat on the floor. So holding the ball down, big circle. Steady your gaze on a point to help you with your balance. Good, now circle in the opposite direction. Keep breathing. And foot flat on the floor, arms down. And we're gonna do that on the other leg. So you're gonna lift your heel off of the floor, big toe on the ground. Ball out in front, you're lightly holding onto it, and you're gonna circle your arms. Big circle. Now let's go in the opposite direction. And good, both feet flat on the floor. And we're gonna do another exercise that involves us on a ball of one foot with the other foot flat on the floor. So this one involves vision a little bit. So we're going to use the ball to block our vision, which challenges our balance, because vision is really important for balance. So we're going to start with one foot, big toe on the ground, heel off the floor, and you're going to have your ball at chest height. Now slowly you're going to lift that ball up overhead. So as the ball crosses in front of your eyes, it blocks your vision. So slowly down and up and down. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to do an optional challenge. All right, another one. Okay, so we're going to do 4 more. You can either stay here, or for an optional challenge, lift your foot completely off the floor for 4. 3. 2, and 1. All right, both feet flat on the floor. And remember, when we are balancing, if your foot needs to come down at any point, that's fine. Just come back to the position when you're ready. So now we have to do the same thing on the other foot. So we're going to start with the big toe on the ground, or the ball of foot on the ground, heel off. Ball's out in front, looking straight ahead, and then reach the arms overhead, crossing the ball in front of your field of vision, and then bringing it down. And we're going to do 3 more before we lift the foot off the floor. So we've got 3, 2, and 1. Arms come down. Now, option to lift the foot completely off the floor. Now that's optional. And we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ball at chest height, foot flat on the floor. All right, for the next balance exercise, we're going to go into a tandem stance. So we're going to have one foot in front of the other like you're standing on a rope. Staying next to your chair, we're going to reach the ball in front, and we're just going to do big circles with the ball. So we're going to reach the ball behind us, grab a hold of it with the fingers of the other hand, and come back to the front. So we're going back and front. 2 more in that direction. So shifting our center of gravity here. Steady your gaze on a point to help with your balance, other direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, lower the ball and bring your feet one next to the other, and we're going to go to the other side. So one foot in front of the other, ball out in front, and big circles here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, arms come down. We're going to bring our feet next to one another, and we're going to go back to that first side for the tandem stance, and we're going to do a slightly different exercise. So one foot in front of the other. You're going to bring your ball out in front, and this time we're going to do small rotation side to side. Now this is a really small motion, and we are doing it slowly. So slightly to the side, and then slightly to the other side. So again, small range of motion, challenging the balance. So if you follow the ball with your gaze, it's going to make it a little bit more challenging. To make it easier, you can just look straight ahead at something on your wall that isn't moving. We're going to do one more, so side to side. And center, lower the ball, and then of course we have to do the other side. So bring your feet into that tandem stance, holding onto the ball with both hands, and slowly and small motion we're going to go side. So you can either continue to gaze straight ahead, or you can look at your ball and follow your ball as you move it for a little bit more of a challenge. So after this, we're going to move to our strengthening exercises with our fit ball. And we're going to do that one more time. And good, arms coming down, and again we're going to get ready for strength. For most of our strengthening exercises, we're going to do 12 repetitions, but feel free to do less if you need to. So we're gonna have a seat in our chair for this first exercise, about the center of the chair, and you're gonna take your ball and place it right in between your knees. So we're gonna do some chair sit and stands. So the focus of this exercise is mostly gonna be on strengthening your quadricep, which is the muscles at the front of the thigh, and a little bit of the glute as well as we stand all the way up. So we're gonna cross the arms across the chest, and we're gonna stand up, press your feet into the floor, and extend your legs completely. At the top, you wanna squeeze your glute, and then sit back down. Make sure your chair is still there. And taking some deep breath as you come up and down, making sure that you're breathing smoothly. And you want to keep your chest, your breastbone lifted. So we're at 3 here, coming down, nice and slow on the down phase as well. So we're already at 4. And let's count back. We're going to do 8 more. 8. 7. 6. 5. Don't forget to squeeze your glute at the top. 4. 3. 2. All right, last one. All right, we made it. Let's have a seat in our chair. The next exercise is another exercise for the lower body. We're gonna bring our feet just a little bit closer together, and we're gonna squeeze the ball with our knees. So we're working our groin, our inner thigh muscle. So sit nice and tall. So you wanna make sure your breastbone is lifted, and you wanna imagine like you have a little string at the top of your head pulling you up as you relax your shoulders. So we're going to squeeze that ball, maintain the position for a second or 2, and then release. And again, squeeze and release. We're at 3. 4. 5. 6. We've got 6 more. Here we go. 6. Check in on your posture. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. All right, awesome job, guys. Another exercise next for the lower body. This one's gonna focus on the glute. So we're gonna go ahead and sit all the way in the back of our chair here. So your back is up against the backrest. Now we're gonna take our ball and place it on the floor, and you're gonna put one foot on top of it like this. So here, we're gonna press our foot into our ball, maintain the position, and we wanna try to keep our upper body as stable as possible, so everything's coming from the leg, which is why we've got our upper body here resting on the back rest of the chair. So you're gonna press down, hold that position, squeeze your glute, and then release. So again, it's a small motion, so you're pressing down, holding, make sure you're not holding your breath here, and release. And let's go for 10 more. 10. Make sure your chest is lifted. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. We got one more. And 1. Now you're going to lift your foot and you're going to switch sides. All right, you guys ready? And here we go. We're going to go for 12. 12, counting back. 11. Make sure you hold a little bit at the bottom. 10. Only your leg is moving. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. All right, awesome job, guys. You're going to take your foot off of the floor. You're going to go ahead and grab your ball, and we're going to stand all the way up. So the next exercise is going to be for the outer thigh here, and we're actually not going to need our ball, so you can take your ball and just place it on your chair here, and we're going to stand either behind your chair or beside your chair, whichever one you prefer. Just make sure that you have at least one hand on your chair. So we're going to do an outer thigh leg lift. As we lift our leg, we want to try as best as we can to keep our upper body stable so the movement comes from the leg. So pull the abdominals in to keep yourself steady, and you want to try to keep your toes facing the front. So your leg is turning inwards a little bit as we do this in internal rotation. So the leg, as we do a leg lift, has a tendency to want to turn out to the side like this, so we're going to turn it in to make sure the toes are facing forward. All right, so here we go up to 12. We're going to slowly lift the leg to the side and slowly come down as well. So it's slow up, but slow down as well. So slowly come up and slowly come down. So working right here, upper body is stable. 3. So you might actually feel this in your other leg as well. 4, because your other leg is using your glute med to keep you in that standing position. 4, 5, 6, 7, and you don't need to go up as high as I'm going. 8, and we're going to do 4 more, so here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, awesome job, guys. Flatten your feet to the floor. If you're beside your chair, you're going to want to go to the other side. I'm just going to move my chair over here a little bit. So stand nice and tall, fingertips on the chair to help you with balance, and abdominals are in, nice steady body. We're going to lift the leg to the side, working right here, and slowly come down. So again, we're going to go up to 12. So we've got 10 more. So are you still lifting your chest? Are you still reaching the crown of the head up? 9, 8 more after this one. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, feet flat on the floor. And the next exercise we're going to do is going to be our last one for our lower body, and then after that we're going to work our upper body. So we're going to work on the calves. So you're going to take your ball and you're going to stand behind your chair, and you're going to take your ball and place it in between your knees here, and you're going to squeeze the ball a little bit. So you might get a little bit of a contraction in the groin area as well. So you don't want your feet way out, you want to bring them in. So your feet are about hip or shoulder distance apart with your toes facing mostly forward. Hands on the chair for balance, or for a little bit more of a challenge, you can keep your hands on your hips. And then that way you'll also work balance at the same time. So we're going to lift onto the toes, hold that position a little bit, and then slowly come down. So fingertips on the chair is also good. Slowly up, hold a little bit, and then come down. And 10 more times. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels down on the floor. You're going to take your ball, and the next exercise we're going to work the chest. So you're going to take the ball in between both of your hands, and your elbows are going to be out to the side. So you want your ball just slightly away from your chest here. Crown of the head reaches up, and you're going to squeeze the ball in between the palms of your hands. Hold that for a second, and release. So working the chest, 2, maintaining the position a little bit at the center, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to lower the ball down. Let's have a seat in our chair. And the next exercise works on your upper back. So you're going to take the ball and place it right behind you, about right above where your belt would be if you're wearing one. And you're not leaning up against your ball here. The ball is just there to encourage you to sit nice and tall. So you're lightly up against that ball. We're going to reach the arms forward. So imagine like you're holding on to some ropes or a band or something, and you're going to take your elbows and reach them back towards the back of your chair. Hold the position and squeeze your shoulder blades firmly together. Hold a little bit and then reach the arms to the front again. So pull, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Hold, hold, hold. Make sure you're not holding your breath though as you're maintaining the position, and reach the arms to the front. So we've got 10 more. So 10, squeeze those shoulder blades, bring them closer together, lift the chest, and forward. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reaching those arms forward, you're going to relax the arms down. And the next exercise we're going to do is for the bicep, and you can stay sitting if you'd like, if your legs are tired. If you can, we're going to stand up, we're going to take our ball with us, and you can stand next to or behind your chair. And you're going to take your ball and place it inside your elbow, and your hand's going to go up on top here, and you're going to bring your elbow to shoulder height. Now you're going to press into your ball, maintain the position for a second or two, and then release. So your elbows out to the side at about shoulder height, and release. So again, we're working the bicep muscle, which is the front of the arm. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good, let's go to the other side. So your ball's inside your elbow, and your elbow's up at shoulder height, and here we go. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ball comes down. So the next exercise works the wrist flexors, and it also works the shoulder a little bit. So you're going to take your ball here, and these balls are not fragile, so if it falls on the ground, sometimes we have a tendency to drop the ball in this exercise, so don't worry about it, it's not going to break. You can just pick it back up once it bounces up and then join back in. So you're going to take your ball into your fingers here and reach your arm forward. So you want your arm here kind of at shoulder height, so your shoulder's working in an isometric fashion here, which means it's not moving, it's just holding it there. And you want to try to keep your elbow extended. You can have it slightly soft, but you want the motion here to come from the wrist. You're going to curl the wrist up and then bring your hand back to the initial position. So curl. So again, from the wrist, not from the elbow. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You might start to feel that in your shoulder a little bit too. And we've got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the ball back down. All right, we've got another arm, so let's go ahead and do that on the other side. So your arm's out in front. Remember, motion comes from the wrist, and here we go. Let's curl it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to come all the way down. And now we're going to work the other part of the wrist. So this time we're going to hold the ball. So you're going to need to squeeze it a little bit harder with the fingers here, because the palm of the hand is going to be pointing down towards the floor. So again, if the ball falls on the ground, it's not a big deal. Once it bounces back up, you can just catch it again and then join back in. So here we go. We're going to lift up and down. And again, we want to try to have that motion come only from the wrist. So the elbow stays mostly straight in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Ball comes down. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side. So here we go, counting back. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The arm comes all the way down. Next exercise is going to be for the tricep muscles. So let's go ahead and have a seat again, if we're standing. And you're going to reach your ball all the way up towards the ceiling. Now as you do that, you want to make sure that your elbows stay hugging in. So your elbows are going to be close to the face. They're going to want to splay out to the side here. So try to keep them hugging in. And your upper arm bones are hugging into the socket. So your shoulders are down and away from the ears. We're going to bring the ball behind our head. Try to keep your head in the center here. And then extend your arms up towards the ceiling. So as you do that, you're going to gently squeeze your ball with the palms of the hands. And 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Halfway there. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Slowly lower the ball all the way down. And now we're going to move to the exercises for our core. So we're going to work here on our lower back, our abdominals, and our posture. So the first exercise for our core that we're going to do works on the abdominals, a little bit of the hip flexors as well. So you're going to take your ball and place it on one knee, doesn't matter which one, we're going to do both. And you're going to take the palm of one hand, place it on the ball, and the other hand's going to go on top of the first hand. So you want to keep your posture here in extension. So you're lifting from your hips to your armpits, chest is lifted. You're going to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to press your hands into the ball and lift your knee off of the floor. Now we're going to hold that for about 5 seconds, but make sure you keep breathing and pull the abdominals in and down. So we're going to do that 2 more times. So we're going to hold the position for 5 seconds, making sure that you're still breathing. So we're coming up for 5, 4, 3, pressing down and up, 2, 1. So you're pressing up with your knee, down with your hands, and pulling the abdominals in. 1 more time on that side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, and we're going to go to the other side. So ball onto the opposite knee, one hand, and then the other comes on top. Think of your posture here. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out and hold for 5. Make sure you're breathing, you're not holding your breath. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. 2 more times. Are we ready? And here we go. 1, 2, 3, abdominals in, 2, 1, and down. And last one, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, coming down. So the next exercise is for the lower back. So we're going to take our ball and place it behind us so that it's about in between your shoulder blades. So a little bit higher than it was when we had it our lower back. You're going to cross your arms across your chest, and you're going to bring your chin down, imagining like you're holding an orange or an apple in between your chin and your chest. And you're going to cross the arms across the chest. You're going to press into your ball. Hold that for a second. And slowly release. So we're going to do this exercise 20 times. But don't worry, you can do it. And remember, you don't have to do all of them. So we're 2, maintaining for about a second here. And release. Not so bad, we only have 18 more. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. We're more than halfway. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. Last one. All right, 20. All right, we're going to take your ball and we're going to bring it a little bit lower, back to your lower back, right above where your belt would be if you were wearing one. So this exercise is for posture. It also works the middle, upper back, and the shoulders a little bit. So again, the ball here is just there to encourage you to sit tall. You're not leaning up against it, and you're sitting tall, so your chest should be lifted, shoulders are down, and the crown of the head reaches up. So we're going to do our Y arms here. So your arms are going to be at the sides with your thumbs pointing towards the front, and you're slowly going to bring your arms up like you're doing a big Y here. Shoulders are down away from the ears, and slowly come back down. So we're going to try to do that 15 times. Working our muscular endurance. 2. 3. Crown of the head reaches up, chin points down towards the floor. 4. This is our last exercise before we stretch. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, we have 5 more, then it's time to cool down and stretch. So let's count back. 5. 4. 3. 2. All right, last one. And 1. Arms come all the way down. All right, great job, guys. So it is now time to stretch. The first stretch we're going to do is we're going to keep our ball where it is, and we're going to stretch our chest. So you're going to reach your arms forward and then open up your arms to the sides. You can gently bend your elbows here. Keep reaching the crown of the head up, keep your chest lifted. So you want to feel the stretch in the front of the shoulders here and at about where your collarbones are. So when we stretch, you want to hold the stretches for about 15 to 20 seconds And you want to make sure you keep breathing. So soften the muscles of your face. Good. We're going to lower the arms. We're going to do our glute stretch next. So you have a couple options here. Again, we're going to keep the ball at our lower back. So the ball just encourages us to have a good posture here. So option number one is you can keep one foot flat on the floor with that knee pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And then the other ankle is going to go on top of the other ankle with your knee going out to the side. So that's option number one. Option number two is to bring your ankle above your knee. So if your ankle's above your knee, you want to try to flex that foot, sit nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed. So your knee might be a little bit higher than mine, that's fine. And if you can gently encourage it to come down, but you don't want to force it, so you should feel mild tension in the muscle, but you should still be able to breathe smoothly, and you shouldn't feel any pain. So if you feel any pain when you're stretching, you may have pushed yourself a little too far, so just ease out a little bit here. All right, awesome. So we're going to uncross the leg, and we're going to do that on the other side. So option number one or option number two. So breathing smoothly here. We want to feel this in this area here, so in the glute. Just a little bit more. And uncross your leg. We're going to take your ball out in front here. So we're going to stretch the upper back and the backs of the shoulders. So you're going to just take your ball and stretch it out to the front as much as you can here. Keep reaching the crown of the head up. And release the ball all the way down. Now we are done with our ball, so you can either put it out to the side or you can set it down on the floor, but just make sure that you know where it is so that you don't trip on it at any point. I like to put my ball, when I put it on the floor, and kind of press it against the leg of the chair. That way it won't roll around on you. If you want to put it out to the side, take a few seconds, you can go ahead and do that. And then we're going to meet back here. So we're going to do our hamstring stretch, and I'm just going to turn myself to the side so you can see better, but you don't have to do that. So we're sitting nice and tall. You're going to extend one leg out here, and you're going to lift your toes up towards the ceiling. Your knee's going to remain slightly soft, and you're going to lift your chest, exaggerate the lift of your chest, and you want to fold from your hip creases here. So keeping a long line from the hips all the way to the crown of the head, and you can either keep your hands on your hips, or you can bring both of your hands to your bent knee here. And come up, flatten the foot to the floor, and same thing on the other side. So lifting through the sides of the waist, relaxing the muscles of your face, and we're folding down from our hip creases. So you kind of want to imagine like you're folding like a book. And let's come all the way up. We're going to flatten both feet to the floor, and we're going to stand all the way up. We're going to stand either behind or next to our chair. And we're going to bring our feet wide here with the outer edges of the feet parallel. We're going to do a groin stretch. So your legs should be, how wide your legs are really depend on how long your legs are. So if you've got really long legs, you're going to have a wider stance than if you've got short legs. But toes facing forward, you're going to shift your hips back with a nice long spine here, and you're going to bend through one knee. Now you can either keep your hands on your chair, or you can bring your hands onto your bent knee. And you want to shift your hips backwards here so that your knee here doesn't track over your toes. It should be above your ankle. So you're going to feel that in your inner thigh area. let's come up. If you prefer, you can have your hands on the chair here as well instead of on the thigh. So you're going to shift your hips back first and then bend the other knee, hands here or here. And let's come up. We're going to bring our feet about hip distance apart. So your feet are staggered a little bit. And you're going to walk your toes closer to your chair. So your legs here should be really close to your chair. You're going to take a giant step back with one foot, press the heel down, and you're going to lunge into that front leg so that your knee stacks right above your ankle. So if you want, you can keep your hands on the chair here. Or for a little bit more of a balance challenge, you can reach your arms overhead. So you don't have to do that. You can keep your hands on the chair. You can also bring your hands on your hips if you prefer. And then hands down. If your hands are up, you're going to step your feet together. And then other side. So pressing your heel down. Your weight is also on the heel of the front foot. Lunging down, so hands here, here, or up here. And in either variation, you're breathing, your shoulders are away from your ears. You're going to feel a gentle stretch in your calf muscle of the back foot. And arms come down. Let's step forward and we're going to do one more stretch, which is for our tricep. So we're going to reach the arm up towards the ceiling and you're going to give yourself a little pat on the back. So your fingertips are just going to be on the back of your shoulder here. And you want to try to keep your elbow pointing up towards the ceiling and your shoulder down. So if you feel enough of a stretch, you can stay here. Or you can use your other hand and push your elbow a little bit to the back here. Or you can reach behind and pull from behind. So you want to be able to keep your head in the center here as you hold the stretch. So you've got 3 options. And then arm comes down. Of course, we're going to do that on the other side. So we're going to start by reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Shoulder down away from the ears, giving yourself a little pat on the back. Elbow in towards the face, and your face should stay in the center, whichever variation you're in. For a deeper stretch, you can press your elbow up from the front, or you can pull it from the back. Almost there. All right, now reach both of your hands up towards the ceiling, fingertips up. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands down. Now take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to press your palms down. Slowly exhaling. Again, reaching up, turning the palms up at shoulder height. Pressing down. And breathing in. And breathing out. All right, great job, guys, and thank you once again for joining me from Fun Fit from Home, and I hope to see you guys next week.